on the passenger seat of the Fiesta, because we are going to pick up another Ford RS branded vehicle, and my Transit is still broken. Is it the 30th today? 30th of December today. Vehicle went into them on, I think, the 23rd. Obviously been shut over Christmas, and I've still had no word from, as Tom gets into the car, I've had no word from Ford's on whether it's going to be fixed. So thankfully for us, the weather is still dry, the road is still dry, so we're using the RS Turbo as our work vehicle to go and pick up cars. So yeah, I thought I'd let Tom have a little go in it this morning. He's got a little smile on his face, introducing the youngers to the older cars. So yeah, we'll go onwards to Cows to pick up today's detail. We're at the local dual carriageway. Let's see what Tom thinks of the Fiesta. It's no 300 horsepower Polo, is it, mate?
Not quite.
Not quite, but it is fun. You're not doing too bad, keeping up with the motorbike. Tom is not scared of taking the CVH to the red line, let me tell you. Just needs a bit more boost now, doesn't it? Just needs a little bit more, then it comes on cam, and then it's all
slow.
It's not slow, no. It just, I don't know. It's a standard car with some air filter and exhaust. I keep toying with the idea of possibly doing a 165 or a 195 chip. Just don't know if I want to take the engine out and forge it yet, so I think keeping it under 200 horsepower would be a shout. But I've never actually tuned a T2 equipped RS Turbo really beyond sort of like 165, but I'll be interested to see if you hybrid the T2 what it would do, and if it would carry that boost a little bit longer through the rev range rather than dying out as quick as it does now. But it's certainly a little fun car, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
This is the kind of car you'd have had when you were 20 years ago.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. You've got like the equivalent now. Polo GTR is definitely the equivalent. Makes all the cool noises, this Polo. We're going to do a video on Tom's Polo, I think, soon. So you can meet the staff of JW and what they drive. Tom's Polo is pretty fast. I've had to go in it myself. It's actually very fast.
What it is.
Yeah, I couldn't have imagined being in a 300 plus horsepower car at that age myself. That's the norm now. But no, it's a rapid little car. Well, we're almost in Cows, so we'll pick this up when we get there. So, got the keys. Avid Ford fan. It's got an MSRT as well, but his is working. First gen one. I've been looking after this fan for a number of years. It's been ceramic coated twice because it's that old, but it's in beautiful condition. Been looking after this one from day dot. It was the first M Sport that I'd had into the studio back in 2017. Beautiful van. But anyway, here's the Focus. What a beautiful car. It's got my favourite wheels of all time on it. Comp motives, MO5s, lovely old job. So a nice Ford morning out, and now I get to take this to the studio. I'm very, very excited. It's been a long time since I've actually driven a Mark II Focus RS, and especially one that's pumping some power. So without further ado, let's get to it. God, it does sound good. So, it's a Fiesta. One little trip over. Something about RSs in a convoy that just gets me. I love it. When you get a couple of, doesn't matter what age they are, it's really quite a special trip out. Having an RS come pick you up into a more modern RS. Call me sad, call me whatever you like. It just gets me. and I love that little car. And they're both wearing comp motives as well, which is pretty cool. Right, let's get to it. Let's get this camera mounted and get this beast back to HQ. A couple of last minute instructions from the owner. Right, let's go. Okay, yeah, it's got an aggressive clutch. Thought it might have. It's very low as well, so this entrance out of his house does this. So I've got to be a bit careful. Tom's just letting me out. Now, I'm not completely fully aware of the spec of this. I do know some figures though. It is tuned to 470 brake horsepower, which in one of these is a little bit over the sweet spot. I like them at around 420, 450. Does have a good noise. I'm sure you can hear that on camera. It's going to warm it up nice and gentle. Does sound very, very good. There's something about the 5-pot, it just doesn't get old. I had a Mark II Focus RS when the car itself was a little over 4 to 4.5 years old, and we were the second owners, and we used it in daily format without a problem. So it was our one car, it was our show car. We were very heavily into the Ford scene and the shows at the time, but it was still a perfect daily. Massive boot, easy to drive and manoeuvre, but mine did have quite a quiet exhaust on it. It had the Miltech, it had the Sports Cat, it had the Miltech, and it was only tuned to CP 400, which for me was perfect. It wasn't even lowered, still on silver wheels, still on standard brakes, still on standard bushes. It just literally had the exhaust, had the mount tune intake, and I really love that car. To be fair, we only sold it on as the family got bigger, and I went back into, as you now know these days, older Fords. But yeah, I've got a lot of time and a very special place in my heart for the Mark II. Wow, the brakes, that stopped me in my tracks of talking. The brakes are unreal. I do believe it's got K-Sports on it. They are a fantastic upgrade, I can already tell you that now. The sharpness and the feel and the feedback is double standard. It's our first little pop. So we're just cruising down from Cowes down towards Newport, and then from Newport into Rookley. Should give the car ample time to warm up. We've got a set of Evo gauges here as well. So the Ford gauges, I'll show you in a minute, are gone, and they've been replaced with direct link ECU gauges that are giving us real-time oil pressure, boost and oil temperature, and they do look quite nice. And these had those, they're colour coded to the rest of the LEDs that have been changed to green inside the cabin too, and they are indeed the same colour, so it all matches really lovely to the fact that it is an ultimate green car too. So it's the non-Lux version. It's got the normal green seats, which I think work better in a green car. It's nice to see the green inlays. It's got the Sony audio, but it does have the climate control, so it was medium way up on the spec. I remember mine had Lux Packs 1 and 2 and the Dynamica interior, which made for a really lovely place to be, and that was in a white car. But to be fair, none of that feels relevant 14 years on with these cars now. I think it is literally about the theatre and the atmosphere that these cars create when you're driving down the road, and you look in those wing mirrors and the arches are just out there. You know, nobody's making cars like this anymore, apart from BMW. The M2 is the most recent addition to new cars. BMW M2, the wide arch and rear end stance of that stubby car has got me on the hook. But that's probably the only car that's really got me that fizz since the launch of this car. I had a couple of Mark III Focus RS's, and for me, they they are a very capable car, but they're too close to a Golf R in their linear projection down the road. I know that you've got to hold on and fight when driving these cars on it, and you've got to get your elbow in that door card and get your hand on the bottom right hand side of that steering wheel in between gear changes and hold on, because that's what they are about. They were literally an animal from the factory. Even with their 300 horsepower, they were still a fast torque steering car, and obviously having the Volvo engine just led them to be so easily tuned to crazy powers that we've seen more recently. We've got Rich's one at 671, a mate of mine called Doug White. He had a very nice mid 500 horsepower Focus, very similar spec to this in that he had the comp motives and the coilover suspension. He had a screamer pipe set up on his one, and to be fair, I've got some very fond memories of 5-6 years ago when some of these big builds were around all of the time, and all we were doing was chasing power, but keeping them mint. I just remember us having big wash days, and we'd all meet up, or we'd come down to JW and we'd all be cleaning our cars. And to be fair, it was a lot of fun, and some of the best Ford memories I had of recent years was because of these cars. Okay, the brakes, I still can't get used to them. They are outrageous. They pull you up very well. So, got some good oil temperature now. We've got water temperature's looking good, so we might be able to give it a little squeeze down the dual carriageway, see what it's like. Tom's still behind me in the Fiesta. Yeah, so far it drives exactly as I thought it would do. It's a very true feeling car. I've driven a few of these that have been a bit worn now, and this one does not feel that way. It feels very precise. Steering, geometry, suspension, all feels very lovely. And I also think they do drive better on 18s. I know they came with 19s from the factory, but okay, that goes well. And it stops really well too. Yeah, that's a fast car. And makes all the noises too. Okay, making loads more pops. What I remember from my ownership of one of these, the hotter you got the manifolds, the crisper the pops. And that is certainly the same that can be said for this car today. Yeah, nice big smiles around. You can't not smile in a Focus RS. It's impossible. It's impossible. Yeah, nice. The Fiesta's caught back up. That's the other thing though, like off boost, the drivability of these is lovely. It's like really lazy and nice. You can just cruise around in it. They were just such a good car. You know what I mean? Like the throttle response is there, but if you want to drive it smoothly and just as a regular car, you can. You can just be smooth and enjoy the car for what it, what else it can be, which is just a good family hatchback. And when you squeeze the throttle, you've got in this version over 470 brake horsepower. Gearbox is lovely as well. I do love the boxes in these. Very just real clunky and nice and just precise. Yeah, and then there's the chairs. It just doesn't get any better, does it? It's no wonder these cars have gone to the moon with their pricing. This does turn in well. Very precise car. I just can't help but smile. Rob has bought a really good car here, I can tell, and this one's only got a little over 50,000 miles, so it's been enjoyed. But it's not sat still its whole life. So the thing is with the really low mileage ones is, if you don't use a car, things perish and things don't last as well as you think they would when you store in a car. This one has been used, and you can tell that because it's mechanically lovely. It's just very nice drive. So yeah, nice mileage, as in it's not high, but unfortunately, you know, when you're going to buy these cars, mileage is a big factor, and they can range, as I had a little browse on eBay knowing that I was going to come pick this up, they can range anywhere from, I saw one for 15 grand, a white one. It had 130,000 miles on, but if that was mechanically up together, that's a hell of a car for 15 grand. And I think it'll always be worth 15 grand. But then they do work their way up quite easily to the 40s for the really low mileage Mount Tune Club Sport equipped cars. Yeah, the variance in prices is massive. They did go for a little bit of a dip, but I think that's leveled out now, and I think they are steadily back on that climb. And as numbers deplete of the Focuses, I think you will see these in the Escort Cosworth territory 10 years from now, because they are the last wide-arched, super aggressive RS built Ford. The Mark III is a good car, but I don't think it will ever hold quite the brightness of the torch to the RS brand as this car does. This car will always be a firm favourite, even with some Mark III owners. They will still say the Mark III is a great car, I'm enjoying it, but I did love my Mark II for other reasons. Traction in a Mark III is unreal. Straight line performance as well as cornering in the Mark III is good, but dropping that cylinder once you've been spoiled by the 5-pot Symphony, it's hard to come away from it. Goodness me, these brakes, I literally just slowing down for a pedestrian and almost went through the frigging windscreen. It's going to take a while to get used to those brakes, I think, but they are good. So almost in Rookley now, nice little bit of B road coming up. Hopefully we'll be able to give it another little squeeze on the way down to work. We'll see how we get on. So what's the Focus in for? Well, the Focus is in the studio for a staycation. It is in for every treatment I can throw at this car. So we're going to get it paint corrected. We're going to do that as a 2 or 3 stage. No matter what's required, we're going to do it. We're going to wheel arch and underside protect, as well as do our 5-year ceramic coating on the body. So we've got a lot to do. Nice little bit of a straight coming up. See what she feels like mid-gear, because that's when these cars come into their own, is mid-gear performance. So 3,000 RPM, 40 mile an hour third gear, and feed her in. Yeah, that's a fast car. Wow, there's some pops. Pops and bangs, they're not for me anymore. I'm a bit 40, but I can still appreciate it on a gear change pop. I'll still get a power bang, that's fine. And you can't take that away from these cars. They do it very well. In the height of the fashion of the pop and bang empire, the Focus was indeed king for a long time. Whether it be an ST or an RS, they pop and banged very well, as does this one. I remember if you just feather the throttle, a little bit of boost, there you go. There it is. You feather that throttle in the right RPM range, depending on the map. I don't actually know what map's on this car. I will find out when I come on to part 2 of the detail on this car. We'll talk about the specs, but it is quite a prolific pop and bang session when you're driving up through the gears. Well, there we go. That was Cows to Rookley in the Mark II, and what a good start to the last job of the year. 30th December. This one is going to start today and head well into January quite deeply. There is a 5-day detail, full detail, to commence on this. And of course we've got New Year's Eve and New Year's Day where we're off, and then we're back to it at the end of this week. But yeah, sadly we're at JW. It's annoying really. I was just getting into that. Horrible dips here. impressive car. Enjoyed every minute of that. As we head back into JW. Get it on the wash bay because it is our first car of today. And again, something else to pick up on. It's a big fat wide car, but they've got the best visibility. God, I just love a Focus. I know I'm biased, but yeah, still a firm favourite in my heart. So, welcome to the chat, Jamie. He's just arrived.
I've arrived and gone.
And I said,
yes.
and he's just Focus RS.
I just think they're such a nice time, aren't they? And
Yeah.
it's such a shame that, yeah, I'm not going to say it out loud. I'd have one of these because they're the nuts. It's just
You
sometimes.
ready for
Yeah,
how
go on
loud
then.
it is? It's really loud.
It's quite early still. Oh my god, the whole car vibrates.
Doesn't it?
Can I just say, whoever, like the owner, shout out, everything's green. Like, this is green and it's OEM.
I know.
That's green, this is green, that's green. Like, it's all quite nice though. Like, even this Alcantara RS knob shifter thingy.
I felt like I've had to relearn how to drive today because the clutch is heavy, the brakes are...
Has it got
I don't know if
some
the clutch...
bits and bobs in it?
I'm not going to say the clutch is heavy, I'm going to say the clutch is precise.
Okay. It's
So-
exact.
So you could look a bit of a wally in traffic.
Like that.
Yeah.
So what's it on? It's on some suspension, you can feel it.
KW's coilovers.
Mhm.
It's on those massive brakes that we just looked
Yeah,
at outside.
K Sports, sorry, nice.
And whatever it requires to get to 470 brake horsepower.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes.
God,
Do you know what I mean by
so loud?
It's loud, isn't it? When was the last time we had loud cars?
Oh, I don't know, I'm old and
Your
I can't be
M4.
arsed. Yeah, and I was like, I just put it in like comfort mode the whole time because I was like, please
And
shut up.
I can't think what car I've had that's ever been this loud, but it
Nah.
is definitely loud.
Oh, it's definitely loud.
Your
If that's
M4
what
is
you're
loud.
into, cool, but I'm old man, mate. I've always
Yeah.
been an old man, so I love this gauges though. That's so lovely, isn't it?
And it's really cool where it's real time.
Yeah,
So the Ford system is a bit lazy, isn't it?
yeah.
But this is,
Whereas that is-
very precise.
Just like the clutch.
Yes, indeed, and the brakes. I can't get.
Yeah, yeah, you fall through the windscreen.
There was a pedestrian in the road earlier,
Oh, stop.
and I went to go round him. I almost stopped behind him. I was like,
Sorry, mate.
yeah,
I didn't think it would be that good.
yeah.
Oh, isn't it just lovely though?
No rattles in the cab though.
Nah, even though it's lowered and it's been modified, it's like, oh, bloody hell. Wow, that is fantastic, isn't it? Oh, apart from the droney noise, which is just how it is, you can put it in sixth and that's it. Like,
Almost put it in reverse
yeah,
then.
just please don't put it in reverse.
Okay, there's six.
At the end of the day, that is like OEM plus.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like more like stiff and it's faster and it's louder, but not like to the point where it's horrible.
No, I mean, I
Like,
think
it's
once
actually
you
quite nice.
own it for a while, I think the exhaust would, you just forget.
Yeah.
My recommendation to the customer, and I think you'll agree, is anything Mount Tune or Miltech.
Oh, Mount Tune's my favourite. My favourite RS I've ever driven was a full
Yeah.
Mount Tune one.
Was the best day out. You
Yeah,
ready for
yeah.
some first gear action?
She's trying. Oh, it goes so well. Oh, mate. Do you know, although it's what, 470? What did you say, 470?
Yeah.
That is like still putting its power down, although we're in December. Like, that's still front wheel drive. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And it's throwing its power down to go.
Yeah.
Oh, and can I just say, it ain't got loads of stickers all over it as well, which is what I absolutely love. Like,
Yeah.
I love the OEM look of an RS.
Absolutely.
And the OEM touches of an Alcantara steering wheel. It
Yeah.
just elevates the car
It does.
to the point where it's so lovely.
And that suspension, albeit it's hard, it's not
But
horrible.
my God, when you went round a corner at, you know, a good speed, it's an half go round. Like, that's the bit you'll take away when you're actually enjoying it. Is
Yeah.
oh my God, this suspension is amazing. The power is still going to the ground; it's not lost.
100%.
And
don't know, mate. I'm out of the loop now, but a valved exhaust would be the game changer.
Yeah, so you could have it like this, and then you could have it not factory, but like
this.
Yeah, just.
So when you're literally feathering the throttle on the butterfly to the point where it's not really moving,
it's still not.
But that's how I remember my Focus being.
I think that's how it should be. If I was to have one, it would be
or a Miltech
chill and then open.
A Miltech for me was great because you had that 5-pot rah, but the rest of the time it was just a normal car.
Yeah, still a great car. Yeah, still a great car. I just think this is RS at its best. Like the Mark 1 was great, but this is just still like one of the best ones, isn't it? It's just a lovely time.
Yes.
Shout out to the owner, it's absolutely fantastic.
He's done well.
Yeah, he's done bloody well.
And he's bought it off of a complete enthusiast.
Yeah, you can tell.
The guy,
he's got all the right bits on it.
Yeah, the guy was emphatic about the car. So no, it's made my day.
Yeah.
Picking this up.
Considering you've owned one for an extended period of time, I've driven pretty much everyone under the sun that has had bits done to it. We've been around these vehicles, so we can point out something quite quickly.
But aren't they all different?
Yeah, this is well different to the ones I've been in. Like, it feels very, very different.
It does.
This is different from your one, because yours was like OEM plus, but like...
Yeah, mine was like a stage 2.
Yeah, like just you know, but like factory nice. This is like club sport factory nice.
I would have quite happily driven Scotland in mine.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was quiet enough to be enjoyed, fast enough to play with RS6s.
Yeah.
And it was just a great time.
And still cool.
Yeah.
This is still cool.
Thank you for coming up the road. I had to share that with you today.
Thank you for taking me out in another RS, and they are all different, so I appreciate each and every one.
I'm now actually going to clean it. I promise you. That's it. We're not taking it out anymore because once we start the process... That's
it. You're not touching it.
We're not touching it. But the customer did tell me to take it out, enjoy it, pick it up, because he's got a house full of kids and he's busy. And he said just enjoy it on the way.
These things need to be driven, in my opinion. No point in having all that stuff on it if you ain't going to enjoy it. That's the way I see it.
Thanks, Jay.
That's all right.
So that is the Focus RS in Studio One, ready for us to start detailing. It's in good condition, this car, but there's plenty for us to do in terms of swirls and scratch removal. So I'm going to end this video here. Next part will be getting the vehicle decontaminated, getting it into masking tape, and starting that all-important paint correction process ready for those ceramic coatings. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I've had a lot of fun getting the car here, and we'll see you guys on the next one.